Hello, this is Sam Gerrans from samgerrans.com. Today is Tuesday, April the 11th, 2023. And today I'm going to make a sort of slight divergence from what I normally do, which is I often do pieces which are really aimed at unpicking propaganda. But today's a bit different, because what I'm going to do is read, which I haven't read before, but I've had a quick scan. But I received an invitation to apply for a job at MI5 in my email account. Now, it's just not me. It's just, I think probably millions of people got this, and I just thought it was interesting that on first glance, at least, the MI5 is expanding and apparently going woke. And I haven't read it carefully. I just had a quick scan through, but we'll read it together and see what it looks like, and see what conclusions we can come to. I don't suppose any of them are good, but we'll see. Now, MI5, according to another military intelligence source, otherwise known as Wikipedia, is Military Intelligence Section 5 is the United Kingdom's domestic counterintelligence and security agency, and is part of its intelligence machinery alongside Secret Intelligence Service, MI6, Government Communications Headquarters, GCHQ, and Defence Intelligence, DI. Spying on you lot, that's what it is. And I just thought it was very interesting that they're clearly expanding and lowering the standards. Let's see if we can work out why. I don't know if we'll be able to do that, but I thought we'd just read it together. So let's just jump in and see how we go. Yes, here we are. You can't quite see it because unfortunately my face is covering over that part of the screen, but it is let's move over there slightly. It says at the top, Security Service MI5, and I'll put a link down below. And they had 3 sections of jobs, and I thought we'd just read this job application together and see what it says. Department, Finance, Audit and Procurement. Well, I mean, finance, audit and procurement. So what are they doing? They're buying stuff, and they need people to help them buy stuff. I would assume that this is a fairly broad way of defining what the job is, and they're going to drag you and have a good look at you when you get there. So it's based in Cheltenham. Cheltenham, if you don't know, is where GCHQ is, which is known as the Big Ear. It's where they listen to broadcasts and spy on internal communications and all over the place. I expect concentrating on Russia and China. But on you, that's what it's really about as well, obviously, because this is the internal spy service. So they want to know more about what you are thinking. Salary, yeah. About us. Okay. At MI5, we safeguard the UK from threats such as terrorism, espionage, cybercrime, and too many people thinking for themselves. Oh no, that was me. I did that bit. Working with our partners, MI6 and GCHQ, we gather vital intelligence that helps protect national security. Our operations are hugely varied. I bet they are, which is why increasing the diversity, I have such a dislike for this word that I can't even pronounce it, which is why increasing the diversity of our people is needed more than ever. Why would that be the case? That logically does not follow, but let's read that sentence again, because that's quite interesting. Our operations are hugely varied, which is why increasing the diversity of our people is needed more than ever. So what they're doing is they're bringing in diversity. That's the idea they want to drum into your head. Our commercial function plays a key role in keeping the UK safe. Safe from what? It seems to me the biggest threat to the United Kingdom is the government and the intelligence agencies. Anyway. We now have a range of opportunities available for individuals looking to develop a rewarding career within a unique commercial setting. Why is it unique? I wonder what's unique about it. Do you think they'll tell us? I'm guessing they're not going to, but we'll see. Inclusion is at the heart of our mission. We all know what inclusion means now. It means hiring people who aren't really qualified for the job and who have are usually highly deluded. Why would they be bringing all that into those services? It's fascinating. And there is no one type of person we recruit. You'll combine your experience in the commercial arena with your talent for customer service as you deliver vital support to colleagues, suppliers, and partners across the intelligence agencies. So they're bringing in what it looks like here is support staff. But I mean, this is obviously you get advanced within an organization once you're in it. But the key qualification appears to be that you're diverse, which means, well, what does it mean? It means you're not white and you're not male. That's what it and you're not heterosexual. It means those three things. Actually, coming to think about it, it also means that you're highly amenable to propaganda, because the kind of people who see themselves in those terms have been very highly propagandized. Join us and you'll discover how your commercial skills can ensure the success of top secret missions as you grow your career in a supportive and inclusive workplace. They keep drumming on about this inclusivity. They're making the point. It's very clear. They can't say it, but what they're saying is if you're white and male and heterosexual and middle class, we don't want you. We don't want you. We only want you if you consider yourself to be some sort of diversity, some sort of social outlier or outcast or something, although actually it's the white male middle class heterosexuals who are the actual outcasts, as anybody with a brain has worked out. Available roles. This is an exciting time to join the commercial function. They're not very clear on what the commercial function is. I mean, is MI5 actually in business? Well, this only makes sense if it is in business. I mean, some people would argue that they are actually, these types of agencies are controlling Twitter and Facebook and everybody else, because I mean they're the people who benefit from it. They're keeping tabs on all of you lot. Me too. As we're hiring for multiple roles to drive diversity and develop a large talented team, it's the only thing that you can possibly come away with here is that MI5 has gone woke. Well, why would they be doing that? You'll have a demonstrable experience in working in commercial roles, meaning that you'll bring a sound knowledge of buying, purchasing, invoicing, billing, and contract drafting and management to MI5. We'll support your career growth, including the completion of relevant qualifications as you progress. They're being purposefully vague on what the job entails, but one thing they're not vague about is they want you if you're diverse, but they don't want you if you're not diverse. Commercial lead. You'll take responsibility for a portfolio of contract and framework agreements and build strong relationships with suppliers. Suppliers of what? Customers across the intelligence agencies, government contracts, and our overseas counterparts. Because actually, when you get down to it, all of this is one thing. If you get into the Israeli secret services and then the American secret services and the French and the Germans and the British, it's just one agent. I mean, they've got their own turf and things which they care about, but they're more like departments in one basic organization, I think. Having gained plenty of commercial experience, you'll be keen to mentor a team and support their growth as we support yours. So these are the kind of people they want mentoring. They want people who are already highly indoctrinated and see the world in terms of them and us, where they are oppressed and somehow a minority, and that's what MI5 wants working for them. MI5 can do what it likes. I just think it's interesting, don't you, that this is what they're bringing in. Haven't you had enough of wokeism yet? I mean, hasn't it destroyed education? It's destroyed the entertainment industry. It's now going to destroy the intelligence agencies. This is one agenda. This is why I'm just bringing this in. I think it's fascinating. Associate commercial lead, overseeing the entire life cycle of unique commercial projects. Yeah, well, I mean, unique in what sense? You'll be a role model for your team. Oh, really? You'll be a role model for your team. Is that what you're going to be? I see. So clearly that's this. Then what they're bringing in, interestingly, in MI5, it appears to be, reading between the lines of this, again, vaguely written job advertisement, is a culture shift. They want a culture shift. They want it all to go to be, woke and broke. And it means that you're going to, the same people who are banning you from Facebook and taking offense that I don't use Facebook or any of these sorts of things anymore, but I'm sure lots of people watching this do, and sending you to Facebook prison, they're going to be able to send you to actual prison. These are precisely the kinds of people they want to apply for this kind of job. Welcome to tyranny. I mean, if you thought it wasn't bad enough now, it's going to get a lot worse. You'll be a role model for your team and strive to enhance customer experience. You'll support the commercial lead in working on a range of projects, confidently building professional relationships to keep things running smoothly. Well, it doesn't actually mean anything. There's not anything of an actual job. You wouldn't be able to define what these people do. It is written in this corporate pablum, which is a language unto itself. But one thing we're very clear on is you have to be diverse. Commercial practitioner, you'll provide a responsive, efficient service. Well, I mean, Nazi Germany was efficient. How efficient do you want it? Ensuring projects are delivered on time, whilst keeping internal and external partners updated on progress. If you haven't seen the film Brazil, which was actually my favourite film of all time, you watch Brazil by Terry Gilliam. It was prophetic. I knew it was when I first saw it in the 1980s. If you're collaborative, organised and eager to develop, you'll thrive in this role. There you are. Does that make you feel cheerful? Do you feel safer now, knowing you're going to have some green-haired trans person with confused out of their minds able to have you influence people, get you locked up, get you spied on, have your family thrown in the slammer? That makes you feel good. I'm not saying the people who were there before were like beyond criticism, but it's clearly going to get an awful lot worse. Associate commercial practitioner, supporting the team in delivering a range of key procurement activities. You'll assist with contract implementation. Oh, blah, blah. I think we've had all this. Anyway, let's move on. What you'll get, no matter your experience or background, i.e., we'll take anybody. We really don't care. But what we do care about is that you are delusional or have got some really bad chip on your shoulder. You'll receive dedicated support from day one. You'll have an assigned mentor, i.e. somebody's going to make sure you stay in line, and probably, it seems they're so interested in diversity right now, make sure you get promoted beyond your abilities. And regular check-ins with your manager, as well as gaining access to a wealth of core and technical skills training. None of this means anything, but we do understand the main point here. They want to go woke. Wow. Plus, you'll have opportunities to gain professional qualifications such as CIPS. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's fascinating. With a range of internal communities and support networks, promoting ethnic minority, female colleagues, and more, you'll quickly settle in and build a rewarding career at the heart of national security. This is the point they want to get through to you. Just this. They don't care. The rest of it, you couldn't define, but this bit is the only clear bit. We'll hire you as long as you're not white, male or heterosexual. That's your qualification. It's your entire qualification. And, everyone's got a right to apply for a job. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand that. But why? Can you imagine if it was written in another way? You wouldn't be allowed to do this. But this is what this means. This is what this means. I mean, if it was against any of these so-called minorities, and that was the way the advertisement was worded, they wouldn't be allowed to do it. They'd be shut down. I mean, I don't mean MI5, but any company who did that. But this kind of racism and sexism and heterophobia, that's all perfectly fine, because this is an agenda, and I'm not complaining about it. I understand the time that I'm living in. I'm just pointing out to you that this is the way they're going, and perhaps you might want to go and live somewhere else, like Outer Mongolia. Yes, your ethnic minorities, female colleagues, with a range of internal communities and support networks, promoting ethnic minority, female colleagues, and more. I think the more there is going to be, our good friends, the child groomers. You'll quickly settle in and build a rewarding career at the heart of national security. So if you work your way up, if you check enough boxes, you too can be Robespierre. Ours is a welcoming, friendly and inclusive environment where people support each other and want to make a real difference. You have to understand this language. Making a difference means changing the society. That's what it means. We want a load of deviants and delusional people in here. We're going to pretend that you can do your job, and your only thing we're going to require from you is to stay with the program, which you've already demonstrated by applying for this job. You've already demonstrated that you are brainwashed, probably, because people who are women or black or this, that, and the other, who are not messed up in the head, they wouldn't relate to any of this. They're just going out there and getting on with their lives. They want you if you're broken, and you want to break everything else, because that's how you do it. Going back to what they did through the so-called pandemic, what it really was getting rid of all the good doctors and all the good the policemen and so on, because those people left their jobs, and they wanted people who were obedient. What they're having here is an influx of highly indoctrinated, obedient people who understand the way the system works and gush along with it. That's what they want. You should be concerned. If you live in the West, and you can be sure that they're all doing exactly the same things, this won't be special to the United Kingdom. This is a turning point. They're going to turn around now. And if you look what's going on in America, where we've had trans, I don't know what to call them. It's a ridiculous term, but very confused people who don't know what sex they are, or have convinced themselves that you ought to go along with their delusions, killing people. Mass shootings. Are you allowed to talk about that? No. Do they reveal the manifesto of this girl who murdered 3 Christians in a school? No, they won't reveal it because they don't want this out there. But what I'm trying to point out to you, this is just one thing that I happened to be sent. I'm sure millions of other people were sent it too. I had a quick scan of it. I thought, if this doesn't terrify you, then you're really not getting it. We have a range of growing affinity groups supporting gender equality, ethnicity, mental health, neurodiversity, disability, LGBTQ+, faith and no faith communities. But you can be certain that what they mean by faith is not Christian. That would be for sure. Mental health, neurodiversity. You've got to unpick the language here. If you're a nutbag and highly, highly delusional and highly indoctrinated, we'll put up with anything. But that's the main qualification. This is the only qualification that they've got here. There appears to be no other. We also have sports. We also have sports, activities and social groups to help you connect with people who share similar interests. Yeah, like molesting children and destroying society and getting some payback for people who they don't like. And now they've got some power and they can use it. Just imagine, going back to Facebook, that these green hair, libtard Nazis, which is what they really are. Just imagine that if instead of just being able to kick you off Facebook or put you in Facebook prison for a week, they can actually put you in real prison. Do you not think that they would do that? Of course they would. And that's why they want these people. They know the people at the top of these sorts of agencies, they're not stupid. They know what they want. They're designing a tyranny which is going to be hell. It's already hell. And I've been talking about it. I've been doing YouTube for 8 or 9 years, something like that. But people were talking about this way before me. People like Alan Watt, without an S. Look up you can still find his stuff. He was talking about this years ago. And he said, and he was right, the hardest thing is going to be to hold on to your sanity. And that's correct. The tyranny they're creating is going to make Nazi Germany look like a walk in the park. And these are the people they're going to use to do it. You can find out more about our drive for diversity and inclusion here. This is all they're talking about. This is all they want. They don't care what else you can do or not do. For further information on the roles, including salaries and locations, and for a full list of responsibilities, skills and experience acquired, please click on the hyperlinks to each job description. When you are ready to make your application, please apply, blah, blah, press that. Okay. Equal opportunities. What you think you haven't said enough? Can't you see this is just absolutely stunning? I hadn't read this. I scanned it, but Equal opportunities. At MI5, diversity and inclusion, i.e. not hiring white heterosexual males, are critical to our mission. Or at least not hiring white, red-blooded heterosexual males. I mean, if you're a beta male, you're basically a nothing anyway. You're an NPC. They'll probably hire you as long as you're prepared to go along with all of this. So they know who they don't want. This is more about what they don't want, as about what they don't want as about what they do want. To protect the UK, from sanity, we need a truly diverse workforce that reflects the society we serve. But it doesn't reflect the society it serves, not in any substantial number. It reflects the agenda, which is essentially transhumanist when you get that right down to it, of the ruling elites. That's what it reflects. This includes diversity in every sense of the word. Those with different backgrounds, ages, ethnicities, gender identities, sexual orientations, ways of thinking, and those with disabilities or neurodiverse conditions. So if you're completely nuts, then we'll take you. We therefore welcome and encourage applications from everyone, including those from groups that are underrepresented in our workforce, such as women, those from ethnic minority background, people with disabilities, and those from low socioeconomic backgrounds. What we don't want is intelligent, heterosexual, red-blooded white males. Find out more about our culture, working environment, and diversity here, if you can stand any more of it. And if I was from one of these groups myself, I mean, I think they would. I think people actually, most normal people are just getting on with their day-to-day lives. That's not what they want. They don't want those kinds of people. They want people who see life entirely through this type of prism. That's what they're looking for. Have you got a chip on your shoulder? If so, now you can come and get some power over the people you don't like. That's what they're looking for. We're disability confident. MI5 are proud to have achieved leader status within the DWP's Disability Confidence Scheme. This is aimed at encouraging employers to think differently and to take action to improve how they recruit, retain, and develop disabled people. Being disability confident, we aim to offer a person-to-person interview to any candidate who self-identifies as disabled and meets the essential criteria for the role, i.e. being able to form a mist on a mirror when you exhale. Eligibility. To be eligible, you must be a British citizen. Well, that's pretty much anybody who wants it. If you hold dual nationality, of which one component is British, you will nonetheless be considered. Candidates must normally have been resident in the UK for 7 out of the last 10 years. This is particularly important if you were born outside the UK. You can apply at the age of 17. If you're successful, you'll be at 18, blah, blah, blah. Right to withdraw statement. All right, that's it. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. It's, reading between the lines, it's quite clear what they don't want. They don't want anybody who is descended from the people who actually built Britain. Okay, they don't want those people. But what they do want are people who are on the tax farm and can prove it, and are diverse. But from the way it's worded, I mean, if I were a woman, let's say, or if I was black or whatever, I would just be me getting on with my life, as the sane women and sane blacks that I've met and liked do. They don't tend to respond to this type of wording. But this type of wording is clearly what they want. They want people who are broken, because they're the kind of people who are going to go, yes, I'm oppressed, I'm diverse, I'm all of this thing. Anyway, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with those views, but I should be very concerned if I were you. I mean, if you think that what you had from MI5 when it was purely run by people that they don't want now, you can be certain that it's going to get a lot worse, even worse. Okay, I mean, evil isn't the preserve of any particular group of people. But what they seem to want is very unhinged people who are just can't wait to go out and start making accusations. This is how it works. And if you've noticed, that's the one thing that's consistent amongst the groups that they've identified there, is they're all really expert at accusing people of using particular words, ist, eit, and ob. It's like a mantra with these people. And these are the people that they want to hire. And if you think it won't come, and if you think because you check some of these boxes, you fit into this category or this category or this category, no. They'll always come after you. As they said about the first, they came in Germany, they came after the trades unions, and I kept quiet. And then they came after whoever it was, this group and that group, and then they came after the Jews, and I said nothing. And eventually they came for me. That's how this will work. Because even if you fit into one of these categories or see yourself as one of these categories, it is a religion, and eventually you won't be enough of one. You'll be the wrong kind of disabled, black, lesbian, transsexual. It won't be enough. There'll be something else or something else you did wrong. Because once tyranny starts, it becomes a self-feeding monster. And that's how it works. And the way you get it to work, as we saw in the Soviet Union, we saw in Nazi Germany, is to hire people who are just doing their job. Anyway, if you want to apply, you'll find the link down below. I currently upload to Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube and Substack, so please like, share and subscribe on all platforms. It's free to do, but a valuable way of giving back. Go to samgerrans.com and drop your email in the box to subscribe to my Substack newsletter and get all new content delivered to your inbox. I back up my mailing list so that, if big tech cancels me, we still have options. I work outside the mainstream and have no corporate sponsorship. If you like what I do, you can help keep the lights on at samgerrans.com/contribute, or upgrade to a paid subscription on my Substack to access my more detailed work as well as comment. Substack being where I read all feedback. I continue to make my legacy projects available free. Summaries and links are at samgerrans.com/books. Finally, I post news, thoughts and announcements to my Telegram channel at t.me/samgerrans.com. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.